The Law of One, Session 63, July 18, 1981.
63.0 I am Ra. I greet you in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. We communicate now.
63.1 Questioner. Could you give me an indication of the condition of the instrument?
I am Ra. This instrument's vital energies are at the distortion which is normal for this mind/body/spirit complex. The body complex is distorted due to psychic attack in the area of the kidneys and urinary tract. There is also distortion continuing due to the distortion called arthritis. You may expect this psychic attack to be constant as this instrument has been under observation by negatively oriented force for some time.
63.2 Questioner. Was the original problem with the kidneys some 25 years ago caused by psychic attack?
I am Ra. This is only partially correct. There were psychic attack components to the death of this body at that space/time. However, the guiding vibratory complex in this event was the will of the instrument. This instrument desired to leave this plane of existence as it did not feel it could be of service.
63.3 Questioner. You are saying that the instrument itself then created the kidney problem at that time?
I am Ra. The instrument's desire to leave this density lowered the defenses of an already predisposed weak body complex, and an allergic reaction was so intensified as to cause the complications which distorted the body complex towards unviability. The will of the instrument, when it found that there was indeed work to be done in service, was again the guiding factor or complex of vibratory patterns which kept the body complex from surrendering to dissolution of the ties which caused the vitality of life.
63.4 Questioner. Is the necessity for the instrument to go to the bathroom several times before a session due to the psychic attack?
I am Ra. In general, this is incorrect. The instrument is eliminating from the body complex the distortion leavings of the material which we use for contact. This occurs variably, sometimes beginning before contact, other workings this occurring after the contact. In this particular working, this entity is experiencing the aforementioned difficulties causing the intensification of that particular distortion/condition.
63.5 Questioner. I know that you have already answered this question, but I feel it my duty now to ask it each time in case there is some new development. And that is there anything that we can do that we aren't doing to lessen the effectiveness of the psychic attack on the instrument?
I am Ra. Continue in love and praise and thanksgiving to the Creator. Examine previous material. Love is the great protector.
63.6 Questioner. Could you give me a definition of vital energy?
I am Ra. Vital energy is the complex of energy levels of mind, body, and spirit. Unlike physical energy, it requires the integrated complexes vibrating in a useful manner. The faculty of will can, to a variable extent, replace missing vital energy, and this has occurred in past workings, as you measure time, in this instrument. This is not recommended. At this time, however, the vital energies are well nourished in mind and spirit, although the physical energy level is, in and of itself, low at this time.
63.7 Questioner. Would I be correct in guessing that vital energy is a function of the awareness or bias of the entity with respect to its polarity or general unity with the Creator or creation?
I am Ra. In a non-specific sense, we may affirm the correctness of your statement. The vital energy may be seen to be that deep love of life or life experiences such as the beauty of creation and the appreciation of other selves and the distortions of your co-creators making which are of beauty. Without this vital energy, the least distorted physical complex will fail and perish. With this love or vital energy or elan, the entity may continue though the physical complex is greatly distorted.
63.8 Questioner. From last session, I would like to continue with a few questions about the fact that in fourth density, red, orange, and green energies will be activated. Yellow, blue, etc. being in potentiation. Right now, you say we have green energies activated. They have been activated for the last 45 years. I am wondering about the transition through this period so that the green is totally activated and the yellow is in potentiation. What will we lose as the yellow goes from activation into potentiation? And what will we gain as the green comes into total activation? And what is that process?
I am Ra. It is misleading to speak of gains and losses when dealing with the subject of the cycle's ending and the green ray cycle beginning upon your sphere. It is to be kept in the forefront of the faculties of intelligence that there is one creation in which there is no loss. There are progressive cycles for experiential use by entities. We may now address your query. As the green ray cycle or the density of love and understanding begins to take shape, the yellow ray plane or earth which you now enjoy in your dance will cease to be inhabited for some period of your space/time, as the space/time necessary for fourth density entities to learn their ability to shield their density from that of third is learned. After this period there will come a time when third density may again cycle on the yellow ray sphere. Meanwhile there is another sphere, congruent to a great extent with yellow ray, forming. This fourth density sphere coexists with first, second, and third. It is of a denser nature due to the rotational core atomic aspects of its material. We have discussed this subject with you. The fourth density entities which incarnate at this space/time are fourth density in the view of experience, but are incarnating in less dense vehicles due to desire to experience and aid in the birth of fourth density upon this plane. You may note that fourth density entities have a great abundance of compassion.
63.9 Questioner. Now, at present, we have, in third density incarnation on this plane, those third density entities of the planet Earth, who have been here for some number of incarnations, who will graduate in the three-way split, either positive polarity remaining for fourth density experience on this plane, the negative polarity harvestable going to another planet, and the rest unharvestable third density going to another third density planet. In addition to these entities, I am assuming that we have here already some entities harvestable from other third density planets, who have come here and incarnated in third density form to make the transition with this planet into fourth density, plus wanderers. Is this correct?
I am Ra. This is correct, except we may note a small point. The positively oriented harvested entities will remain in this planetary influence but not upon this plane.
63.10 Questioner. Now, we have, I believe, if I remember correctly, I think you said there were 600 million wanderers, approximately. Am I correct in that memory?
I am Ra. This is approximately correct. There is some excess to that amount. The correct number in 1981 was somewhat in excess of 60 million. Ra and Dawn corrected their mistake in session 64.
63.11 Questioner. Does that number include the harvestable third density, who are coming to this planet for the fourth density experience?
I am Ra. No.
63.12 Questioner. Approximately how many are here now, who have come from other planets, third density harvestable for fourth density experience?
I am Ra. This is a recent, shall we say, phenomenon, and the number is not yet in excess of 35,000 entities.
63.13 Questioner. Now these entities incarnate into a third density vibratory body. I am trying to understand how this transition takes place from third to fourth density. I will take the example of one of these entities of which we are speaking, who is now in a third density body. He will grow older, and then will it be necessary that he die from the third density physical body and reincarnate in a fourth density body for that transition?
I am Ra. These entities are those incarnating with what you may call a double body in activation. It will be noted that the entities birthing these fourth density entities experience a great feeling of, shall we say, the connection and the use of spiritual energies during pregnancy. This is due to the necessity for manifesting the double body. This transitional body is one which will be, shall we say, able to appreciate fourth density vibratory complexes as the instreaming increases without the accompanying disruption of the third density body. If a third density entity were, shall we say, electrically aware of fourth density in full, the third density electrical fields would fail due to incompatibility. To answer your query about death, these entities will die according to third density necessities.
63.14 Questioner. You are saying, then, that for the transition from third to fourth density for one of the entities with doubly activated bodies, in order to make the transition, the third density body will go through the process of what we call death. Is this correct?
I am Ra. The third and fourth combination density's body will die according to the necessity of third density mind/body/spirit complex distortions. We may respond to the heart of your questioning by noting that the purpose of such combined activation of mind/body/spirit complexes is that such entities, to some extent, consciously are aware of those fourth density understandings which third density is unable to remember due to the forgetting. Thus fourth density experience may be begun with the added attraction, to an entity oriented toward service to others, of dwelling in a troubled third density environment and offering its love and compassion.
63.15 Questioner. Would the purpose in transitioning to Earth prior to the complete changeover then be for the experience to be gained here during the harvesting process?
I am Ra. This is correct. These entities are not wanderers in the sense that this planetary sphere is their fourth density home planet. However, the experience of this service is earned only by those harvested third density entities which have demonstrated a great deal of orientation toward service to others. It is a privilege to be allowed this early in incarnation as there is much experiential catalyst in service to other selves at this harvesting.
63.16 Questioner. There are many children now who demonstrate the ability to bend metal mentally, which is a fourth density phenomenon. Would most of these children, then, be this type of entity of which we speak?
I am Ra. This is correct.
63.17 Questioner. Is the reason that they can do this, and the fifth and sixth density wanderers who are here cannot do it, the fact that they have the fourth density body in activation?
I am Ra. This is correct. Wanderers are third density activated in mind/body/spirit and are subject to the forgetting which can only be penetrated with disciplined meditation and working.
63.18 Questioner. I am assuming that the reason for this is that, first, since the entities of harvestable third density, who have very recently come here, they are coming here late enough so that they will not affect the, shall I say, polarization through their teachings. They are not infringing on the first distortion because they are children now, and they won't be old enough to really affect any of the polarization until the transition is well into transition. However, the wanderers who came here and are older and have a greater ability to affect polarization must do that affecting as a function of their ability to penetrate the forgetting process in order to be within the first distortion. Is this correct?
I am Ra. This is quite correct.
63.19 Questioner. It would seem to me that some of the harvestable third density entities are, however, relatively old, since I know of some individuals who can bend metal, who are over 50 years old, and some over 30. Would there be other entities who can bend metal for other reasons than having dual activated bodies?
I am Ra. This is correct. Any entity who, by accident or by careful design, penetrates intelligent energy's gateway may use the shaping powers of this energy.
63.20 Questioner. Okay, now as this transition continues into fourth density activation, in order to inhabit this fourth density sphere, it will be necessary for all third density physical bodies to go through the process which we refer to as death. Is this correct?
I am Ra. This is correct.
63.21 Questioner. And now, are there any inhabitants at this time of this fourth density sphere who have already gone through this process? Is it now being populated?
I am Ra. This is correct only in the very, shall we say, recent past.
63.22 Questioner. I would assume this population is from other planets, since the harvesting has not occurred yet on this planet. It is from planets where the harvesting has already occurred. Is this correct?
I am Ra. This is correct.
63.23 Questioner. Then are these entities visible to us? Could I see one of them? Would he walk upon our surface?
I am Ra. We have discussed this. These entities are in dual bodies at this time.
63.24 Questioner. Sorry I am so stupid on this. But this particular concept is very difficult for me to understand. It is something that I'm afraid requires some rather dumb questions on my part to fully understand. I don't think I'll ever fully understand. But, inaudible, even get a grasp of it. Then as the fourth density sphere is activated, there is heat energy being generated. I assume this heat energy is generated in the third density sphere only. Is this correct?
I am Ra. This is quite correct. The experiential distortions of each dimension are discrete.
63.25 Questioner. Then at some time in the future the fourth density sphere will be fully activated. What is the difference between full activation and partial activation for this sphere?
I am Ra. At this time, the cosmic influxes are conducive to true color green core particles being formed and material of this nature thus being formed. However, there is a mixture of the yellow ray and green ray environments at this time, necessitating the birthing of transitional mind/body/spirit complex types of energy distortions. At full activation of the true color green density of love, the planetary sphere will be solid and inhabitable upon its own, and the birthing that takes place will have been transformed through the process of time, shall we say, to the appropriate type of vehicle to appreciate in full the fourth density planetary environment. At this nexus, the green ray environment exists to a far greater extent in time/space than in space/time.
63.26 Questioner. Could you describe the difference that you are speaking of with respect to time/space and space/time?
I am Ra. For the sake of your understanding, we will use the working definition of inner planes. There is a great deal of subtlety invested in this sound vibration complex, but it, by itself, will perhaps fulfill your present need.
63.27 Questioner. I will make this statement, and you correct me. What we have is, as our planet is spiraled by the spiraling action of the entire major galaxy, as the big wheel in the sky turns and our planetary system spirals into the new position, the fourth density vibrations become more and more pronounced. These atomic core vibrations begin to create, more and more completely, the green. That is, the green core vibrations complete more and more completely the fourth density sphere and the fourth density bodily complexes for inhabitation of that sphere. Is this correct?
I am Ra. This is partially correct. To be corrected is the concept of the creation of green ray density bodily complexes. This creation will be gradual and will take place beginning with your third density type of physical vehicle and, through the means of bisexual reproduction, become by evolutionary processes, the fourth density body complexes.
63.28 Questioner. Then are these entities of which we spoke, the third density harvestable, who have been transferred, are they the ones who then will, by bisexual reproduction, create the fourth density complexes that are necessary?
I am Ra. The influxes of true color green energy complexes will more and more create the conditions in which the atomic structure of cells of bodily complexes is that of the density of love. The mind/body/spirit complexes inhabiting these physical vehicles will be, and to some extent, are, those of whom you spoke and, as harvest is completed, the harvested entities of this planetary influence.
63.29 Questioner. Is there a clock-like face, shall I say, associated with the entire major galaxy of many billions of stars, so that as it revolves, it carries all of these stars and planetary systems through transitions from density to density? Is this how it works?
I am Ra. You are perceptive. You may see a three-dimensional clock face or spiral of endlessness which is planned by the logos for this purpose.
63.30 Questioner. I understand that the logos did not plan for the heating effect that occurs in our third density transition into fourth. Is this correct?
I am Ra. This is correct except for the condition of free will, which is, of course, planned by the logos, as it, itself, is a creature of free will. In this climate an infinity of events or conditions may occur. They cannot be said to be planned by the logos but can be said to have been freely allowed.
63.31 Questioner. It would seem to me the heating effect that takes place on the planet is analogous to a disease in the body, and would have as a root cause the same or analogous mental configuration. Is this correct?
I am Ra. This is correct except that the spiritual configuration as well as mental biases of your peoples has been responsible for these distortions of the body complex of your planetary sphere.
63.32 Questioner. When the third density goes out of activation and into potentiation, that will leave us with a planet that is first, second, and fourth density. At that time there will be no activated third density vibrations on this planet. Am I correct in assuming that all third density vibrations on this planet now are those vibrations that compose the bodily complexes of entities such as us? And that is the sum total of third density vibrations on this planet at this time?
I am Ra. This will be the last full query of this working. This instrument has energy left due to transfer, but there is discomfort. We do not wish to deplete this instrument. May we say that this instrument seems in better configuration, despite attack, than previous workings. To answer your query, This is incorrect only in that in addition to the mind/body/spirit complexes of third density, there are the artifacts, thought forms, and feelings which these co-creators have produced. This is third density. May we answer any brief queries as we leave this instrument?
63.33 Questioner. Is there anything that we can do to make the instrument more comfortable or improve the contact?
I am Ra. You are conscientious. All is well. We leave you now, my friends, in the glory of the love and the light of the one infinite Creator. Go forth, then, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the infinite Creator. Adonai.